Mic check 1 2. We're live. Peace and blessings, everybody. This is B Michael. I'm your host for Shifting Paradigms. You're tuned in live to KUAW here at Knowledge, Understanding, and Wisdom. We're at WB Du Bois Learning Center, 4510 East Linwood Boulevard, where you can go to the website at kuaw.org. You can check us out on YouTube. You can check us out on Twitter. Of course, we're on Facebook. And we are doing what we do here with this live internet radio. Big up to Baba G holding it down. He's always doing a great job on the soundboard. So I always want to acknowledge him and the Black Family, the Black Technology Family, Black Family Technology Awareness Association. There it goes. That tongue twister. I always get that kind of twisted up a little bit. But today, we're going to be talking about some very interesting things. I have a special guest that we have on the Zoom. Say again? Prince Michael. Yes, indeed. We're going to be getting him going very shortly. But just to always let our listeners know, Shifting Paradigms has a mission of stimulating critical thought in order to realistically redefine our narrative and positively reshape our reality through dialogue with self-determination. Today we have a show which is called Diaspora Paradigmatics. This is a state of emergency response that brother Prince Michael is going to really bring some great information to you all. I hope you all really tune in and listen to what this brother has to say and what is on the table now. But the show is dedicated to the 32 founders of the Organization for African Unity. I want to just name a couple of them that we may be familiar with. We know of Dr. KUAW Nkrumah, who was the Prime Minister of the Republic of Ghana. His Imperial Majesty Haile Selassie I, aka Rastafari Makonnen. He is the emperor, or was the emperor of Ethiopia. We have General Gamal Abdul Nasser, who was the president of Egypt. We have H.E. Sekou Touré, the Prime Minister of Guinea. H.E. Leopold Senghor, who was the Prime Minister of Senegal. Also, Julius Nyerere, who was the Prime Minister of Tanzania. And the Honorable Jomo Kenyatta, Mau Mau, the Prime Minister of Kenya, leader of the Mau Mau. So I hear you, Brother Michael. You up on the mic?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Wonderful. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Want to welcome you to Shifting Paradigms, and thank you for being here, man. But before we get right to it with you, I want to just go over a perspective of this particular show to frame some things that you have brought to my attention in a very powerful way. And the spirit was moving me in the direction of the African Union in light of everything that's going on, the state of emergency that Africans in America are facing. But this is from a document that was published on the 25th of May in 2012. And I know you're going to elaborate on this some more. But this is called the Declaration of the Global African Diaspora Summit. And these are some of the programs that have come out of this. And one thing that I want to focus on is pretty much, there's so much to go from, but the intergovernmental cooperation, which is dealing with political cooperation that the African Union has decreed. In the area of political cooperation, we commit to the following. This is all 55 heads of state in Africa. They commit to the following. A, enhance South and South cooperation through closer collaboration between the AU and all intergovernmental entities in regions in which African diasporan populations are part of. So this is crucial information. B, leverage the collective efforts of the African Union and all intergovernmental entities in regions in which the African diaspora populations are part of to promote and advance issues of critical importance to Africa and its diaspora. C, encourage AU member states to establish more formal relations with the Caribbean and Latin American nations and vice versa. And where practicable, the opening of more missions in respective regions. Let me get a quick sip right quick. D, so continue to support the role of the AU as the focal point and the coordination hub of all diaspora initiatives in the continent. To this end, diaspora issues should be a standing item on the programs excuse me, and agendas of AU summits, and the AU Directorate tasked with diaspora matters should be strengthened and capacitated in financial and human resource terms. E. Take necessary measures to promote and create effective synergies between national and continental diaspora programs. F. Create platforms for closer interaction, solidarity, and effective collaboration between and amongst governments and civil society of Africa and its diaspora, including continuation of regional consultative conferences and creation and consolidation of regional networks as partners and interlocutors for the implementation of the outcome of Global Diaspora Summit. And I'm just going to pause there. I'm going to put this document into my blog when this is done. But it's some stuff on the table for people of African descent in 2020. The year of Africa has just passed. The year of return has just passed. The 400-year end of enslavement and captivity has come and expired as of last year. And now we're seeing brought to the forefront some powerful things. And this brother that is on this Zoom call with me, Ambassador Prince Michael, welcome.
Peace. Peace, brother.
Man, I want to thank you again for being here. Perfect timing. Everything in its time and its season, and you truly have come into my radar at a perfect time. And I just want you right now to just, introduce yourself to our listeners here on Shifting Paradigms, so they can just have some insight as to who you are and what you do, my man.
Yeah, peace to the brothers and sisters. Peace to the diplomats, and power to the 6th region. That's how I'm greeting our brothers and sisters right now. I am a brother who's coming from the creative space, entertainment, production, and stuff like that, making beats, writing songs, dealing with coordinating events and ideas, consulting, marketing, promotion, the typical path of the entertainment industry. You know what I'm saying? I got into more of the community activism when I started looking into my roots and culture, you know what I'm saying? And that was like around 2013. Mm-hmm. And immediately after that happened, I got introduced to the 6th region. I met a brother I met a brother from Ohio who used to be a diplomat in Africa, though. He used to represent Africa to the United States. So he was representing the country of Guinea. He served on the staff, on a diplomatic staff, for the ambassadors.
May I ask you do something real quick? Just kind of go back and bring up, what is the 6th region? What do you mean by that?
All right, so basically, it means that Black, people, African Americans, Moors, we all independent right now. African Americans are independent from the United States government. Mm-hmm. We were given a regional status, like a regional government status. Okay. Like we are acknowledged we got a major treaty on that recognizes us as like a major world power, not even think bigger than a nation now. We just went from the bottom of the bottom to the extreme opposite. You know what I'm saying? Like, not even talking about nation, we talking about a region, right? We're like a world region where we're covering 90 different countries. We got 350 million people in our region, you know what I'm saying? And they looking at us as the LeBron James, like, you know what I'm saying, the free agent that everybody wants. You know what I'm saying? We are the star. They looking up to us, like, y'all are the ones that's going to take this African Union, this global government stage, to a whole nother level.
Come on now.
Like, they already know we gonna do it. Like, they gonna pass it to LeBron, they gonna pass it to Kobe. They already know what we gonna do. They're expecting us to do this in the last seconds of the game. We are the ones. You see what I'm saying?
Undeniably.
We are the go-to people. We are the go-to star player on the court or on the field. That's us.
Okay.
That's what the 6th region is. It's acknowledging us in our highest capacity. They're giving us a fresh start, a fresh government status to engage the world. Not just the U.S. government, but to engage the whole world. You know what I'm
And let
saying?
me add on to that, because one thing, the African Union proper has 5 regions on the continent: North,
Yeah,
South, East, West, and Central, correct?
yeah. 5 regions: north,
So
south,
that
east,
is
west, central.
on the proper continent, okay?
Right.
Anywhere an African person is in the diaspora is a part of the sixth region,
That's
correct?
right.
And so
Yeah.
now with the Africans in the United States, in the North American continent, this is what you're saying has given us a political status, a
Yes.
national reality, a
Yes.
governmental
Yes.
presence. And one of the things that I've always contended about our experience in North America, and really anywhere we go, is that we have not had that political backing. We have not had so-called an embassy support system, right? So
Right.
whenever
Right.
we
Right.
get harangued, whenever we get murdered and brutalized, there's no response coming from anywhere to support our cause. And so now what you're saying, due to this development that the African Union has declared in 2012, is we have that support.
That's right. That's right. You can even go and see that even without us being fully organized and actually interfacing with the African Union efficiently yet, because we haven't got the news out, people don't know about it yet. Even without all of that, you can go and look at the history of the African Union within the last week or so, like about the last 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
You can see that they have been active on our behalf, at the United Nations and stuff like that. And that's normally they don't interfere because they give us respect. They give us the same respect that you would give any other government. You let that government handle its affairs, right?
Right.
So normally they don't interfere with that. They just giving us the platform to, level ourselves up and upgrade our status and come to the table,
Mm-hmm.
on the same level as all the other governments, as the United States, as any other government, Mexico and Canada. You know what I'm saying? We should be over here, eye level with all of these governments over here: Canada, Mexico, the United States, all of Central America. You know, that's what they gave us. That's what they helped us out with. You know what I'm saying?
Powerful.
By putting us eye level with them, because it's 53 of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Or 55 of them.
Right. 55
you know what I'm saying?
heads of state.
So they can utilize the strength in their numbers, just in the sheer numbers of the African Union alone. They have 55 different countries.
That is
So
powerful.
they can use all of those countries to turn around and recognize us as African Americans, as Africans in the diaspora, as our own government entity. And that's what they did. So now they just catapulted us to the status of a region instead of looking at it as an individual nation. Now we look at it as a whole region where a group of our people all working together under a political structure and administration. You know what I'm saying?
Powerful.
As a region.
So how you were mentioning how you came across this? You ran into a brother that was representing Guinea. You said, correct?
Yeah.
So
so
explain that some more. Okay.
Yeah. I started off. I said my prayer for truth, and I found some information. Within an hour that led me towards Botswana. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
As I was led towards Botswana, I'm also simultaneously still in the world of commerce. Having to, do my deals and stuff like that because I was a young entrepreneur. At the time. So I come across a new partner that I'm considering doing some business with. And I run down on him in Charleston, kick it with him for a good week and a half. And he comes across somebody that's married to a Botswana princess. Right?
Okay.
And so when that information crosses my ear, I'm like, hold on. Let me see what's going on. At first I wasn't really considering doing business with the guy. But when that came to the table, I knew it was a spirit because I had just made up my mind about Botswana.
Mm-hmm.
So I get connected to this brother out in California who mentions the Botswana, and he just seeing what they got going on, and the sixth region was one of those things that they needed help with. So they were older than me, and I saw that I could help them out with some graphics and some stuff like that just to help fine tune the package a little bit, and ended up learning about the sixth region, and then actively being involved throughout the years, because now I'm going 7 years, like
Oh my.
living. This is my. I live this. You know what I'm saying? I live the sixth region. I understand it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I see the struggles. I see like I've seen the complications that the different organizations have had in trying to spread the message. You know, I've seen certain mistakes people made and things like that, and so I was a fly on the wall, you can say, for a minute, and now I'm just want to bring that awareness to our people in a manner that I think will be effective. You know what
Indeed,
I'm saying?
indeed. And what has been the response that you've had in light of bringing this information forth? And I won't even call it
I mean,
information, but
people
the
get
stuff.
it. Like in the way that I've been communicating it. When if I'm able to sit there and talk to anybody, they all get it because it's fundamental. And one thing I'm not doing is never trying to put myself off like I'm a leader in the sixth region. Like I'm one of the like I'm an official representative. I'm not an official
So
representative.
you're the
I'm
herald. You're the herald
yeah,
of this new development.
yeah. I'm not. I'm just an equal voting member, just like you and just like all of us. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And that is the awareness I want to bring. I'm putting that on the forefront. That when we look at the laws, of it, we are actually that population that's going to elect a representative. You know what I mean? We are a new regional government. They acknowledge us as a new organizing body.
That's powerful.
So we haven't organized yet because you didn't vote for nobody. I didn't vote for nobody, you know what I'm saying, to be our representative.
Right.
So that means that representative power is still retained by us, the voting population,
Okay.
everyone who's of voting age and older. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Right.
that's what we out here just letting our people know that this particular voting status that we have in a regional government in the affairs of a major world regional government.
Mm-hmm.
This puts different possibilities on the table for us as Black people in America who want justice. You know, this is a new grounds for obtaining and seeking that justice. And so I'm suggesting that, being that the time is definitely, this virus and George Floyd and protesting, that's what the times are right now. You know, we have to meet this second wave of the virus that is, can be anticipated near flu season when the in the fall when the season starts changing.
Right.
We have to meet that second wave with a tsunami of jurisdiction, of regional government jurisdiction. We have to be already understanding, what it means now that we are now a regional government. We can't be trying to figure it out in the fall when they start to come with that second wave coronavirus stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that's why we're saying now is the time during the summer for our people to be purchasing the African Union flags, and waving it and displaying it in public. That is what this summer should be about. You see what I'm saying? There are legal benefits just to displaying this flag alone. As an African American, as a Black person living in America, you know, um, just the fact that you are displaying this flag, this is a statement of jurisdiction, a fundamental statement of jurisdiction, that you understand you are a regional government. You understand your regional government power.
So the
Just
flag
by
itself
just
carries.
the flag itself,
That's powerful.
corroborated by your Black skin, your Black complexion, your Black appearance,
The melanin.
that would normally target you for racism,
Right.
and dehumanization. The same phenotypical expression or experience that would attract racism is the same thing that corroborates your lawful declaration by having this flag, by displaying the flag
Alone.
See what I'm saying?
That's powerful. That's powerful. Hey, so
That-
go ahead. You have something. I don't want to cut you off.
Yeah, that's the main thing. That's one of the main things we want people to understand, is that while you're learning about what it means to be a regional government now, and what it means to be the LeBron James of the sixth region, you know what I'm saying? While we're learning about that, just get your flag.
Get your
Just
flag right now.
just get
That's real. That's
you know what
real.
I'm saying?
There's a question in my Facebook Live by brother Kevin Muhammad. He asks, "Are you familiar with former Ambassador Arikana Chihombori KUAW?"
Yeah, certainly.
Okay, maybe like give some background of the the former ambassador.
Okay, yeah, I can't say I can give her full background, but she was appointed by the African Union to the United States, which means when you have two countries now, and they agree to be on friendly terms and to do business, they will send a representative to the other person's country, to the other country,
Okay.
to represent the affairs. And so it's like countries will exchange ambassadors, right?
Okay.
So the African Union is no different, which is what we're showing people, that our government capacity is no different than what we all are familiar with. It's the same thing that they're talking about at the United Nations, the same thing when they talk about at the European Union. We are the world powers. We are on par. Those are our partners now. Like all the presidents in Africa are now our partners. And we can start to look at them as business partners, like just the same way you got business partners around the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? You need some support with certain things. Who are you going to check first? You're going to go and check with your partners first to see what we got that can make this thing happen.
Right.
This is an idea we got. This is what we want to do. We're going to sit down with our people first. And then what our people ain't got, then we'll look elsewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now we have to, our people have to understand how to look at the presidents now as their partners now. And look at the United States and Mexico and Canada as their peers, not as their parents. Like you're looking up to them, like they're the ones to tell you what to do. Now you are a peer. We are equal. So that's the new training. That's the learning curve that we gotta go through, because we're so used to being the bottom of the bottom. Indeed. And now we're the head of the head. Now we're the LeBron James of world governance.
And all this is based upon a treaty that the African Union entered into with the United States Corporation, correct?
No, not because of the treaty that they have with the United States, but because of the treaty that they have with us.
Ooh, that's even deeper.
With us.
Okay.
Yeah, the power move was by centralizing our attention to ourselves, our own kind.
Okay.
So all they had to do was recognize their own kind and recognize us.
They validated.
And all we got to do is recognize them. Which is recognizing ourselves. You see what I'm saying?
Indeed, that makes ultimate sense. That makes powerful sense.
Yeah.
So you're tuned in to Shifting Paradigms here. We're talking about diaspora paradigmatics. Got Ambassador Prince Michael here on the Zoom call with us. He's you're out of Atlanta, Georgia, correct?
Yeah, I'm up here in Kennesaw. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, big up. So when we do come back, we're going to take a brief break. I want you to talk about some of the recent filings that you have, and then we're going to expand on what this all really means for us, how we go about getting this off the ground. So we're going to take a real quick break right quick, and then we shall return and pick back up with this conversation that I'm having with Ambassador Prince Michael.
Peace.
Here we go. We're back. Can you hear me, brother Prince Michael?
Yeah, I hear you now. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
we're back. We're back here live, shifting paradigms here on KUAW, talking about diaspora paradigmatics. This is a state of emergency broadcast, a response broadcast. And so we had just talked about what the African Union has given African people in the diaspora, particularly African people in North America. And this is related to our establishment of a regional government here that puts us on par with the United States as peers.
Yeah, on with the United Nations.
With the United Nations. Woo, that's even deeper. And so this gives us a completely different political reality, social, economic, name it, right? And so I had saw recently where you had gone and filed some paperwork with the state of Georgia.
Yeah, last year. This was last year.
Okay,
yeah.
So you were just revisiting that, I guess, when you brought that up. Can you go into what that actually was all about? If that is something that is, shareable.
Yeah, of course. Well, it's something for everybody. I mean, it's just a reality of the psychological trauma, right? That our people are suffering. We know our people need to see certain things in order to motivate them, or to inspire them to do something that's good for themselves. Sometimes, like, you got to show them certain things.
No doubt.
So what I did was I took something that was definitely divinely shown to me in terms of a loophole, a legal loophole for slavery. I'm talking about reparations, that through intellectual property, we were able to prove irrefutably that the United States owns the intellectual property rights to trade secrets associated with dehumanization, the slave creation process, trademarks that they sold us as, like black and niggas and all of that, Negro, that these intellectual properties are still active and legal today, to this day, that they were never made illegal. And so, because the 13th Amendment didn't make them illegal, we filed for negligence, and scientific misconduct, and unjust enrichment, and a few different charges, because of the whole situation. So it was just a loophole, that a seemingly minute detail that you can understand why it may have been overlooked for many centuries. For a couple centuries, and no one ever addressed the intellectual property. So we did that, and we moved them into default on Juneteenth, which was June 19th, a couple weeks ago now. Yeah, about 10 days ago. Yeah.
Yep, 10 days.
So we officially moved them into default on that, and we filed for the injunction. Five major things. The most important that's relevant to this conversation would be number 3. The third thing we filed for was the peace treaty, the treaty for the court to order the United States to engage us in our full diplomatic capacity from now on, basically.
And that was a ruling.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we filed for. When you move them into default, whatever you filed for and put on that paperwork, you get. It's like you win. So we already won. The argument is really irrefutable, because all of the evidence it exposes, it's all public evidence. It's all public information.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like the black codes, these are real things. This is literal proof of
Jim Crow, name it. Yes, sir.
They licensed the permit. They gave permission to white people to hold us as property, and they actually have documents proving it. You know what I mean? So just that document proves that they own the intellectual property, proof of ownership of the intellectual property is proof of existence. As long as those intellectual properties exist, they should have been mentioned or canceled in by the 13th Amendment, and they were not. So that's negligence. You failed to deal with the intellectual properties.
They transferred the ownership. That's all they did.
So all they did was that's how they're able to transfer ownership through the laws of succession.
Right.
So the original licensees, when they died, they transferred those licenses to their descendants.
Right.
All the way down to the white people that's living in America today. They're all legally and lawfully owners of the licenses to dehumanization, to slaves, to the trademarks, nigger, black, all of that. They own the intellectual property rights, and it's legal to this day. It's legal for them to own it. So they're going to have to revoke it themselves until the United States does it, actually does it. You know what I mean? With the executive order.
So people, you're saying the people have to actually enact that injunction themselves?
Yeah, the people need to do it. Those quote unquote good white folks, which I'm sure there are some, you know what I'm saying? But the good white folks, what y'all can do is first you can start by relinquishing your ownership to the intellectual property rights for dehumanization, for slaves, and for all of the trademarks. You know what I'm saying? You can go ahead and start there. Acknowledge the existence of these intellectual properties and your responsibility, your accountability. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it was now we went further in detail, with the paperwork, with the affidavit. We actually went in further detail and cited case law. You know what I'm saying? We cited the actual responsibility of the state now, or as the owners of the intellectual properties. We showed them where they went wrong and what they have to do to correct it. You know what I'm saying? So we gave all those details in the breakdown. You know what I'm saying? And the gist of it is that the slave is and was a patentable creation. In order for them to create the slave, there was 3 major stages. That's captivity. You had to capture a free and natural living person. Then you have to dehumanize that person. That is what you do to make them into the slave. And then as the slave, you hold them as a subhuman servitude, like a subhuman servant. You know what I'm saying? Like they serve you and you don't even treat them like they're really a human. You know what I'm saying? So what they did is they took us from that third state, from that subhuman servitude, and they went directly to the first one in reverse captivity, making us free. But you skipped over the second stage, which is the dehumanization. In order for you to redo that, in order for you to reverse that, you had to rehumanize us. You would have to, first make us understand that, we are humans now. You know what I mean? That's not just something you do with a piece of legislation. Actions would have to corroborate that. You know what I'm saying? You would have to stop being racist. You know what I'm saying? All of these things that we know they were not capable of doing is what they would have had to do. You know what I'm saying? So long story short, since they skipped over and neglected that process, we are now revisiting. We have to revisit that process. We still have to be rehumanized. And the scientific process and method, that we cited in the paperwork was in controlled environments, because that's the way the law states right now. They said in order for you to get a patent on a naturally occurring gene, it has to be manipulated in a laboratory. A laboratory is a controlled environment. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Those plantations were those controlled environments that created the slaves. You see what I'm saying? So now we have to have the opposite of a plantation. These are the rehumanization zones that we're talking about. See what I'm saying? When I say the 40 black cities, these are stage 1 rehumanization zones. Now stage 2, now the stage 1 is where it's black only, you know what I'm saying? And it's just all black love, you know what I mean? And all of the, now remember they owe us a lot of money too. They owe us a lot of money based on paperwork that we filed. So, it enables us to, just do what any lawful abiding citizen,
Right.
in person does go claim the land, what I'm saying, build and develop on it, what I'm saying, and maintain, fortify our situation and maintain it, sustain it, you
Indeed.
know. And so
Indeed.
that's just everyday life. That's just what people do naturally, you know what I'm saying? So all we have to do is now just gather our community and let them know of our new status. Now it's time for us to go and build our rehumanization zone and
So
fall in love with ourselves again.
beautiful. So this
Yeah.
leads to my next point that I want to bring up in terms of the affidavits. Do you
Uh-huh.
want to talk about the affidavits, how to access them, what they actually do for you? You mentioned it a little bit, but maybe
Hmm.
expand on that some so that people can know, how we can claim this particular
Hmm.
new governmental presence that we have
Hmm.
here, and then how to extend that forward.
Yeah. So the first way to claiming it is really by reading the treaty and understanding it for yourself. Once you have an understanding of the treaty for yourself, then you understand that you have a partnership with the presidents. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We haven't really done that as a community yet. We haven't really reviewed the treaty and we ain't celebrated it yet. As long as we ain't celebrate, then we really ain't discussed it yet because this is green. This is grounds for celebration. You feel me? We have to understand how important that celebration is, that aspect of celebration. So we have to celebrate the treaty. That's why we're pushing
Okay.
diplomatday.com and the Diplomat Day strategy. Now, when you go to the website, you'll see an affidavit. You will see a vote template. That only thing this is doing, and the reason why this is important is because we are motivating you to exercise your power now. We're giving you a route to exercise your power. I know most people don't even think about on the level of a nation or a regional government. So it's like we don't know what to do with that power. You know what I mean? So we're showing you something that you can do with that power that will be effective, that will essentially put all of our people in a better position. That is declaring state of emergency. See what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? If the majority of the voters in America, the Black American voters, vote to declare state of emergency, that it becomes law. You see what I'm saying? Because we are the president right now. Right now, the population is the president, collective. The family, the whole family is the president. So if more than half of the family vote to declare that, this is the state of emergency, you know what I'm saying, then that's what it is.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
indeed.
That's just
Right.
how that's how law works. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're encouraging our people to do. Um, Declare a state of emergency so that way we're it's a diplomatic way of putting the public on notice that you will be taking some extreme measures to safeguard yourself and your
Existence.
family.
Exactly.
It's because that's the way the system really works. It's really a bunch of paperwork giving notice of different things. And when you don't respond to the notice, when you don't respond to the notice, it's like you're at a lesser situation. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying, in terms of negotiation, a lesser negotiating position
Right.
because you didn't respond to the person gave you notice and you didn't respond to it. So now you don't have you're basically acquiescing
That's that default again.
yeah, you're putting yourself at default, like what they said stands because you ain't have no comeback basically. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying?
Yes.
So what we want to do, we don't want to be the ones that's not responding to all of
Negligent.
this
Right. That's
activity
not being
going on.
negligent.
There's national activity going on, and we're not responding. Our regional government ain't said nothing about coronavirus. We ain't said nothing about George Floyd. You know what I'm saying? Not as a people, not collectively as our true regional government status. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's what we're saying is people, we got to respond to some of this stuff going on right now, so that way they know we're here.
Organize it though. We got to organize
We
it. That's crucial.
exactly. We have to declare legally and lawfully. We have to declare to the rest of the nations that we are here because they already acknowledge us, but they have not seen us acknowledge ourselves yet.
And the
So
power that they've
now is
granted
the
us.
time for us to acknowledge ourselves, our regional power. Yes, we are that regional government that y'all view us as. Yes, we are capable of winning the game for everybody. Yes, we are. Then we have to start to acknowledge our power now. So that's what we are giving people, a template of a paperwork that you can just simply sign and turn in. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
So by doing that, you will be using your power. You'll be flexing your power. You know
That's
what I mean?
awesome. That's awesome. So you mentioned Diplomat Day, which is really the push to make people more aware of this particular development that is favorable for us. So talk
Yes.
about Diplomat Day some more, if you don't mind.
Okay, so Diplomat Day is a day where we gather up and with a bunch of flags at a location. We got music, we got motivational speakers, we got the whole 9 yards, vendors, food. You know what I mean? You know how we do, and we there for a few hours, basically just having people vote for state of emergency, use their power. Helping people to use their power and understand their power.
And that's
you know
the
what I mean?
affidavit, correct?
Yeah, we can have the affidavit out there. We even thinking about coming up with a shorter one that's just about literally just saying that you declare state of emergency. We're even coming up with a shorter one. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So but just having people to take the first step of exercising their power as a regional government. You know what I mean? So we'll be out there with folks, a good 5 hours with that. And then at the end of the rally, we just all leave together, with our flags out the window, and we just driving and cruising through the cities. You know what I'm saying?
As a nation.
So, and that's, yeah, we're just making a statement that we are here. We're active. We are here. We're active. We're responding. We know our jurisdiction. We know that we are a regional government. That's why you see us with our flags. We don't have to protest. We don't have to riot. We just have to show them that we here now, that we know who we are. We know the power that we got. This is our flag. We know what it means. We know that you know what it means. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna act like they don't know, because we all got these flags out here. That's the purpose of having thousands of flags out there. You feel me? So that's why we telling our people all summer, we just need to be showing them thousands of flags and understanding and taking the time to understand what it means.
That's powerful. That's powerful. Does the new status that we have, does that anyway give us more flexibility for repatriation? Does this allow for that transition to be more smooth?
Of course. It opens up, it actually lays the groundwork for you to move through all the 90 countries, not just all 145 countries, not just the 55 in Africa, but everywhere that is a member of our region. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's 90 countries outside of Africa, including America. You see what I'm saying? Once we really patch that up and build up that organizational structure in the travel department, think about that. Imagine that. We got 90 countries in our region. If that's not motivation to, get this stuff organized and together, you can't get no better motivation than that. We'll be able to travel freely throughout our entire region.
Right. So they will issue passports to us and everything?
Yeah, we will issue our own passports. We are the government.
Oh, that makes sense.
We are the government. Now, our passports, yes, it will be recognized by, the African Union Commission and everything. We'll do it in collaboration, with our partners, with the African Union Commission, because we're part of the region. We're still a part. We're partners, you know what I mean? So we're one big organization. We're one global organization. So of course we'll do it in concert with them, but it will actually be us issuing ourselves the travel documents, the passports, the IDs, any licenses, to do, whatever we doing, it's up to us.
Mm-hmm.
We just have the backing and support, of the continental presidents wherever we need it. And of course, we are expected to extend our support to them as well, because this is a two-way thing. You know what I mean?
That is powerful. That is powerful. And so, I had one last thought because we're wrapping up with time. The mantra. What is this mantra? You mentioned this mantra.
Yeah. No, it's just a way of like an elevator pitch. You know what I'm saying? If I had to tell somebody real quick, what the sixth region is, basically, first of all, now I'm just letting them know that, look, we independent. That's the quickest way to say it is, look, we independent. Right.
Right.
But to be a little bit more detailed, you would say that we're a brand new nation, and that there's no sign up or registration, and that there's no official representation yet, and it's just the sovereignty of the congregation. So we're a brand new nation. There's no sign up or registration, no official representation, just sovereignty of the congregation. That's really what it is. The congregation is sovereign because we have to appoint the president or representatives, four representatives. So until we do that, we are together the president. We together are the representative of our nation.
We're the body. We are the collective body. That collective consciousness.
Collective body. Yeah.
And that is so imperative in this day and time, man. And this can really just cause a critical mass to develop for a paradigm shift. And that's what we're really about here doing in this particular format that I have and platform. It's changing our paradigm, man. We need to really bring this to the forefront. I'm of the mind that this is something that is beyond revolutionary, right? This is something that is allowing us to really come to the forefront and lead the world into righteousness. This is what this is really all about. And we have to do that healing, like you said. I was referring back to post-traumatic slave syndrome, and Dr. Joy DeGroy Leary, and a lot of the things she said, the cognitive dissonance. These are the things that we have to wrestle with, because I'm glad that you've gotten so much positive feedback in response to this, but I can still imagine there will be skepticism. There will be, challenges to break through, to get people to really understand that they have the power now, and we have the support with the African Union. Like that is something that is mind blowing. It can almost be like, this is too good to be true. Are you for real?
Right,
you stop playing.
Right.
So how would you go about, just dispelling that, just presenting the information like, boom, this is it right here. Just check this out.
I say the best way for people to do that, the best way for us to do that is for everybody to print the treaty, man. I know this sounds like a big thing to ask, man, but you got to understand, by printing off the treaty and actually having it in your hand, being able to hold it, being able to pull it out your bag or whatever, it's something magical about printing the treaty, man. Walking with it, print 2 of them, have one in the car, have one in the crib, like it's something magical about that, and being able to tell somebody about it by showing them the treaty, like, look at this treaty, it's dated 2012, the date is on it, you can see the African Union emblem, you see how it starts off at the top. First thing they read is, we the heads of state and government of the African Union, the Caribbean, and South America. That's 80 different countries. That's just the first words of the treaty. That in itself is powerful. When they see that we have a treaty with 80 different countries, you got to show people that. You got to show people that. You tell them, I know you might not understand what this means, but this is huge. Yes. We are a government now. You know what I'm saying? We, the people, are a government now. We have power. We have government power right now, as it stands right now, until we vote for our representative. So we got to use that power that we have right now and declare state of emergency. Just by declaring state of emergency, we automatically put ourselves in a better legal position. Period. A diplomatic position.
Right. We need it. And that is so needed in everything that we've been facing for the past 400 plus years. So this is on time. Liberation is here if we want it. And I do definitely, encourage all people of African ancestry to look in this, no matter where you find yourself. If you're in the European countries, check into it. If you're in the Australian continent, look into it, no matter where you are, look into this, investigate it yourself, prove it, right? And then, get a part of it, because the solidarity and the unity is going to be our strength. And that's exactly what we need in this day and time: solidarity and unity. And this is a major leverage point for us to use to get to where we need to be. Man, this is powerful. This is powerful. Any closing thoughts you want to share with the people, Ambassador Prince Michael?
Just diplomatday.com. Remember, every day is Diplomat Day. You know what I mean? If you want to organize a diplomat slide or a diplomat day, we're gonna open up the registration on the website real soon. Y'all just send all the good energy to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? If you know any car clubs, you know what I'm saying, it's good to organize with the car clubs and the bike clubs. You know what I'm saying? Get them rallied up. Y'all can order. We need some of the bosses in the cities, around the different cities, to boss up and go ahead and buy 1,000 flags. It's gonna cost you about $2,500. You know what I'm saying? But we need these flags coming into these cities by 1,000.
Establish your jurisdiction.
Establish our jurisdiction. We got to do that. Take the initiative. Make the African Union stickers. You know what I'm saying? Make flyers. Tell people about it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You can use our flyers. We got flyers if you tune in. What else?
How do they get in contact with you?
Just hit us on diplomatday.com or come on social media. I'm Ambassador Prince Michael. Everything spelled correctly in one word, no spaces, no nothing. Just get in touch, man. Just get in touch and look out for us. We're coming to TV soon as well. We got a nice little situation on the table. So we need marketing. We need more marketing deals like that. We need, product placement, whatever it is that can help get this information out there. These screenwriters, if y'all out there writing movies, writing stories, writing books, right now, put the 6th region in your creative content. You know what I'm saying? Let this drop this seed, wherever you are creating. Painters, you know what I'm saying? Business people, we need y'all to be gathering and holding the using the Millennial Assembly protocols, you know what I'm saying, to expedite, 1 million business ventures within 30 days, minimum. And we need just full solidarity from everybody. Anytime you hear someone trying to organize something for the 6th region in your local community, support it with 100% wholeheartedness. Support it. Do whatever you can to blow it up. That is your responsibility around the cities on the ground level. Blow up anything anybody's talking about with 6th region. Anything, everything.
That's real.
Blow it up. But remember, you hold the power. If you don't remember nothing else, remember, we the people, you, everyday average common person, just African American Black person, this common everyday person, you hold regional government power right now. All of our people of voting age or older.
Let's go.
Remember that. You hold the power, the true power right now, real sovereign power. You got it.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Ambassador Prince Michael, man, I want to thank you for our time. Your time. This hour is about up. Man, I'm definitely going to follow up with you soon. You got some conference calls that happen too, so give us the information for the conference calls. They can check it out on Facebook.
Yeah, check in. I'm right now. I've been hitting conference calls every day at 9 p.m.
Eastern time.
Check in.
Eastern time.
So and that's Eastern time. Yeah, and I'll give you the number right now as well. The number is 1 second. 602 580 9884, and the access code is 675 7780. So we on there just talking Diplomat Day.
There you go.
Talking everything.
Talking government.
Talking diplomatic perspective.
Indeed. So we're gonna sign off, and you've heard Diaspora Paradigmatics with Ambassador Prince Michael. I'm your host on Shifting Paradigms, B. Michael. Tune in 2 weeks. We'll be back. We're going to pick up with our Sabbath paradigm, and move forward with that. But thank you for tuning in. Signing off. Peace and blessings, my brother.
Yeah, peace to you, man. Peace to the 6th region.